Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Coming to you from Washington's premier indoor shooting facility. Of course, that's Security Gun Club right here in Woodinville, Washington. Never in a million years did I think I'd be doing a video about this, but I'm going to let you in on a little trade secret, okay? Only us lawyers know this, and that is that, yeah, judges are not above the law. And I know many of you are like, well, yeah, duh, of course judges are not above the law. Nobody is above the law. Well, apparently, right now, there's a lot of progressives, when you take a look at the reaction that we're seeing out there in the exosphere, that are having an absolute conniption fit over the fact that the Department of Justice in this past week has arrested not one, but two judges. Now listen, mainstream media would have to tell you that this is a constitutional crisis. The only crisis is what these judges were actually doing. We'll explain it all in just a moment so that you can understand what's really going on. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about a shock to no one: judges are not above the law. Okay, America, this is what we're talking about. A couple kind of crazy stories here. The arrest of two judges, one out of Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, the other one out of New Mexico. Now, it has many on the left absolutely losing their minds and stating that obviously we have gone full dictatorship because the Department of Justice is arresting judges for their rogue rulings. Well, let's talk about what got both of these judges actually arrested. And of course, it will be in search of the eternal question posed by today's video, which is, are judges actually above the law? First, let's talk about Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan. So, this story is pretty crazy. Judge Dugan has a defendant in her courtroom who is an illegal alien, undocumented, whatever you want to call them. We're calling them illegal aliens here on this channel, okay? They are appearing before the judge on some type of criminal charge. The judge learns that there are ICE agents outside the courtroom awaiting the defendant because they are going to detain and then deport him. The judge has a complete conniption fit, orders the ICE agents into the courtroom, and then orders that the ICE agents must confer with the presiding judge of that department to determine what, if anything, they can do inside the courthouse. Okay, so the ICE agents follow the judge's orders. They go down to confer with the presiding judge. While that conference is taking place with the presiding judge, Judge Dugan takes the defendant and the defendant's attorney back into chambers, which standing alone is probably ex parte communication. If the prosecutor went back there, then it's a different story, but I did not see that in the story. But then worse yet, allows them to leave through the exit that judges and jurors would take from the building. So this person does not end up exiting the building like any other normal person making an appearance in that court would. Translation, she basically helped ensure that ICE would not be able to detain this individual. Now, unfortunately for the defendant / illegal alien, ICE did detain him a short time later after a foot chase, and this person is now subject to deportation proceedings. For Judge Dugan, unfortunately, on Friday, she found herself under arrest, leading to many meme creators out there in the Twitter sphere to have an absolute field day. Okay, and then let's talk about New Mexico. Donna Ana County Judge Joel Cano and his wife Nancy, they were both taken into custody earlier this week for what? That's right, actually housing and harboring an illegal alien. In fact, the individual, Christian Ortega Lopez, who apparently is also a member of Tren de Aragua, and you're going to love this, apparently, according to the Canos, they initially hired this individual just to do some work around the house, you know, at the house and the property and things like that, and then ultimately offered them a full-time residency on their property. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of people on the left who believe that this cannot occur because judges are technically above the law. And I would ask all those people, if a judge went out tonight and got completely drunk as a skunk and then got in a car accident and injured a bunch of people, are you telling me that you can't arrest the judge for DUI or vehicular assault? Because you absolutely positively can. But let's talk about what both of these judges actually were arrested for, because it's a pretty clear violation of 8 United States Code Section 1324. We've talked about this before. And this is the law that says, listen, state officials have no duty whatsoever to assist in federal deportation and immigration efforts. Okay, they have no duty whatsoever. So if your sanctuary status as an individual or as a municipality or a jurisdiction is such that you will never assist federal immigration efforts, that's probably your prerogative under the statute. However, the minute you begin to thwart, obstruct, hinder, delay any type of deportation efforts, the moment you begin to assist in harboring or concealing or assisting really in any way an illegal alien, well, now you are subjecting yourself to serious felony charges. 8 United States Code Section 1324, Section A2 says that it's unlawful to knowingly or in reckless disregard of the fact that an alien has come to, entered, or remains in the United States in violation of law, transports or moves or attempts to transport or move such alien within the United States by means of transportation or otherwise in furtherance of such violation of the law. But there are plenty more ways, in fact, to get in trouble, including A3, which says, knowingly or in reckless disregard of the fact that an alien has come to, entered, or remains in the United States in violation of law, conceals, harbors, or shields from detection, or attempts to conceal, harbor, or shield from detection such alien in any place, including any building or by any means of transportation. And it is also criminal activity to conspire with any other person to commit any of these acts. So is there sufficient evidence, or what we call probable cause, to believe that both of these judges have violated the law? Yeah, there absolutely, most definitely is. And therefore, are there grounds for them to be arrested? Yes, there absolutely positively is. And then to get to our final question for the day, are judges actually above the law? Absolutely positively not. Oh, and can you name any other instance in which a judge actually serves significant prison time for committing crimes while engaged in their role as a judge? Well, yeah, let's talk about Pennsylvania Judge Michael Monahan. You guys may remember him as the Cash for Kids judge, where he was actually taking up and over $2 million in illegal kickbacks from detention facilities to overpopulate them with juveniles who didn't belong there otherwise. Sentenced to 17 years in prison. Oh, by the way, though, he's out now because President Joe Biden pardoned him. Remember that? So no matter how the mainstream media wants to spin this, no matter how many of the talking liberal progressive heads in the exosphere are going to absolutely crap their pants over the next few days, was there a sufficient legal standard, that being probable cause, to believe that both of these judges had actually engaged in true felonious conduct which would justify the arrest? There absolutely positively was. Listen, we're going to go ahead and link up the statute down below so that you can geek out on it for yourself. We'll link up stories related to both of these judges, so hey, you can make up your own mind. If you guys got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, you click on that link right there and you tell us all about it. If you want to subscribe to the monthly newsletter, the ability to do that's down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation, how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.